No, I'm not, Kristen, but thank you for mentioning that. Am I muted on purpose? Oof. That is not what I want. So how is your death metal indie alt rock synth, Kristen? Was it Ozzy sings Electric Light Orchestra? Oh my god, Mouse. Why are you being dead? There we go. You ought to spin converting vegetarians. I don't know what converting vegetarians means. I went on a date with a vegetarian. Sweet girl. Didn't work out. My desire to see her naked was not as strong as my desire to eat bacon. Well, let's hear and see what it sounds like.
Execute when pause. I needed to click a checkbox. That was what was screwing me up. God damn it.
Converting vegetarians, is that by infected mushrooms? No, that's not my scene at all, but thank you. You are quite the lexicon of music. Alright, I think what I'm going to do first is knock out some of the simpler mindless stuff just to get it done. Alright. Just fix that. I'm so full. I'm compiling a blueprint that's, of course, in the level, because I
There we go.
am so
Now
smart.
skip the cinematics.
Nice.
Fix this here as well.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be, could you be my neighbor? Wah. Wah. Oh, hold on. course. I get in closer to look and see if the zombie is leaning on a bar, and I die. That one's good. This guy's got to go back a little bit. Boop. Oh, I still don't have the VO taunt. I don't know if you didn't commit it, or if it's just not working.
Sure.
What?
Yeah, I was fucking around with some things. I'm not sure if that's probably it. Changed some things like Kate, and then I decided I didn't want them, and I forgot to delete it and update it, so then I deleted it and updated it this morning. And I'm not sure if I forgot to like redo anything that I was doing with Kate.
Does each zombie increase game time?
What?
Does each reaching animated zombie increase like the game time? frame rate for game.
Oh yeah, that was.
This level's gonna be unplayable then if I have zombies, if I have 100 zombies in it. Well, I was gonna line all of the walls with zombies.
That's why the hell is stuff.
Okay.
And it doesn't. We have lots of zombies. Like if you think of the hanging zombies in stage 2, there's got a ton of those.
Gotcha. Alright, well, I'll scatter them out and then we'll figure out if we need to do anything afterwards.
So, switch build. God damn it. I'm just in the select folder part of the build. I clicked on. I was like, I'll go to the bathroom now, and then I took the ad. Fine. Doing fine. It started now. Has most of the fixes anyway. I'm sort of angry that I did not go to a later lunch. That was just not good today. Already hungry.
Just on this last stretch here.
Now that we're trying to, this last push. Like I've been doing some stuff before, but it was usually just like a few little things. I know I spent a lot of time working on stuff last night, so. What's it playing for?
And for PAX or GDC or?
Oh, for after, like, we're gonna move the stuff that's found and have to fix something that isn't like that.
I could get the I could get the other laptop loaded with Source, or at least just the engines. That way we could both be working on stuff at night if we need to. Because this runs perfectly with it. Or like take the GDC and PAX in case we need to do anything on the fly there.
was, I mean, yes. I was more thinking after, like,
Oh, yeah.
after release time.
Figure till end of April, see what happens.
Alright, that's all I just wanted to, because I wasn't really sure.
Yeah.
Sort of what I was expecting to do, because then by then everything should be known.
Really don't want to do that with those. So I'm having a crap ton of trouble today getting motivated. Not do what we're supposed to. That makes me sad. Did I forget to put that back in? I did not forget to put it back in. However, that streaming level.
What's up?
Oh, I was just checking how the cinematic thing worked. For the hide level. Something's busted with the lock to break blueprint, Paul.
The what?
The lock to break blueprint.
Got it?
It doesn't play the sequence anymore. Though let me see if it's because of this. Hang on. Might be because I already have
did it fix it?
doesn't play the cinematic.
See what I changed.
Let me see if the other one works. I mean, I guess I should probably say it right. It plays the wrench cinematic, but it doesn't play the sequence after that. So it plays the wrench cinematic, but it never goes to the level sequence. And it just kind of freezes there, and it looks like it's on both of them.
Oh, it's because I didn't add that. Yep, that would be why.
Is this something I can just real quick add?
I know. I forgot about that. I couldn't specifically. When I switched over to the left hand.
Yeah. And I've even bored Kristen today. She left a while ago.
What's up?
I even bored Kristen today.
You haven't been talking. Like,
Well, there's nobody to talk to. I suppose I could start singing to myself again. I know you love that.
yeah.
I just need a good night's sleep. The problem is I'm just so tired of waking up 3-4 times a night. I don't feel like I've ever gotten any rest. Just do it, Scat. Come on. Before I start capping all these dudes over, we had talked about the jump scare zombies before. So I know it's got the skeletal mesh and then the static mesh.
Say it one more time.
So the jump scare zombies, because I'm about to copy paste like 100 of them in here, and instead of going back through to each one and fixing it after the fact. So on skeletal mesh for the draw distance I've got 4,000. For the static mesh I have no draw distance set. Is that correct?
It's going to overwrite. It's going to overwrite them both.
So I don't need to do anything on it then.
No, you'll want to set the min. Set the skeletal mesh max draw distance. That's the one you want to change.
Yeah, so I don't do anything with the static mesh then.
That is correct. It
Okay.
will be set to.
Gotcha, because that's what I've got right now, is just the skeletal mesh set. And what I'm going to do,
And then it'll change that distance.
yeah, I'm going to see if I can find the sweet spot for distance for it.
Yeah, it won't work in Elder. You'll have to be actually. Because it's in the blueprint of the project. Actually, no, you should be able to do it in that engine. You'll get 90 of it. It will then overwrite that for the better way to do it.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Go home and try and do that like this late. I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna sit on my like literally. I feel like I just go sit in my car, walk upstairs, and just sit right back down. Like, you know, like, yeah, that's not feel good. But the gym, it's key right there. Feel better.
I'm making do with specs for right now, but if you can make a ticket to give me experiments that all they do is run at you, just follow a random, I don't need them to use the nav mesh, just do like the specs do, just randomly run around. I guess that is using the nav mesh, but no target points, I guess is what I'm saying. No target points, just have them running around the maze.
So,
like the specs.
They just are the specs with the different
I mean, realistically, at the end of the day, if everything has one ability to kill you, it's just a different cosmetic way of killing you. Can't, unless you can think of any other clever thing to do with them inside there.
I don't know. I'll think about it.
We can make them just be faster. Much faster. They can just be much, much faster. Which will force the player to actually make good decisions on which doors they have open.
Yeah, we can just they'll be attacked with different attacks.
A leap attack too, which means that they can kill you further away than the specs do.
Alright, cool.
So faster and a leap attack.
Alright, so they leap at you and scratch you?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
We should have all that shit in there. Your switch just loaded up, by the way. Your switch is done. Yeah. No, I've gotten stuff done, I just don't feel like it.
In space. But it didn't crash. Yeah, I just think we'll have to lower the number of checkpoints that you can be at once.
Right now, 2 is the max. Well, 2.5, I suppose.
Well, like for the Switch,
Okay.
for its version, I'll just have to make it so that each level is with the sub level just doesn't have as many sub levels.
Yeah, Christian, we were just saying that too. It's a super quiet day today. What boulder is that? We're on boulder 2. I feel just like I'm just Captain Mellow right now. Hey everybody, how you doing? Shit, why is that open? Why am I even looking at that so long? Oh. Oh, that's too funny. So there's a boulder that overlaps my maze in the next level, but I never noticed it was there before because I unload that level before I load the next one. So, problem solved. That's leaning, dude. Oh. Like what I'm about to do right now, Kristen, is hyper repetitive, and like I'm just in my head, I just don't want to do it. But I gotta get it done. Fuck. As soon as I get close enough to see how he looks, I get killed by him. What a jerk.
We don't have the experiment yet from Toybor.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, if you can grab him from Toybor. Is it open on that one?
No.
Because we don't. I mean, I can open it on that one.
No,
I just need it to open
really
so I can click migrate.
I don't want to migrate. I just don't want to open it up. It's going to take so long.
Yeah, but I can just go do it on that while we're not using it.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Yeah. Did you eat your chocolate yet?
No.
That's fantastic. You need to try it. It's sea salt, caramel, and like a dark semi-sweet chocolate. It's really yummy. Yeah,
that was good.
I'm telling you, Acuity, man, they hook a brother up with the gifts that they send out. Every year they'll do 2 or 3 of those to every agent upstairs, and they are crazy yummy on the shit that they send. What is life but repetition and misery? There we go, Kristen. You're now on my wavelength. Thanks for noticing me. And it's been a hot minute since Emily was in here calling me Eeyore. Looks kind of neat. He's got that bar going through him. That's not half bad.
Right.
Alright, you guys zombie crush.
Forward. Oh, I'm just talking to myself. A little forward, a little down. This zombie's such a whore. He's presenting his butt to me. Our next drunk dev. We don't drink here, Kristen. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wednesday.
Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome. I'm being helpful.
Next Wednesday, Kristen. I guess I want to be a little bit more forward. Yeah, and I think we're gonna have a guest streamer too. Fine.
I will make sure I figure that out. I think that's the right response, yes. Will you be able to end overlap do anything for that zombie, or does it just have to be put it on? Where are you putting it?
There's an altar that if you drag it on, I'm putting the skull blueprint up at the headstone, or the skull pressure plate at the headstone. So if there's any way you could force it to align in one direction when dropped, that would be great.
Okay.
That way I can just, it doesn't matter with the skull, because when the skull I've tested lands pretty well on there. So as long as the body, because otherwise the body's like hanging off halfway, you know, the wrong way.
Yeah. When you drop it on, we'll place in VFX, and it will then be placed properly.
Yeah, if you want to give me a
We'll do
VFX
something.
option,
Yeah, we'll do
then
something
I
like
can
that.
just pick which one in there, unless there's one you like. Do you want the whole blueprint, or do you just want
I just want the animations. I want all the like
The mesh,
animation
yeah.
stuff, animations, the rig, all that.
so
Materials.
just skeletal mesh and sequences?
Yeah, and textures and all that stuff.
Well, the mesh should take the textures with, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It may take the whole character as well, though. It probably doesn't really matter. I'll just end up deleting that stuff anyway because it's going to be referenced by other stuff.
Now I have to find out what they named the animations for it, because there's nothing for animations named experiment.
Just type in EXP.
There we go. Thanks, Paul.
No problem. I've seen all those things. I saw all that stuff so many times that I can usually remember what the abbreviations were, what they decided to name it. Is it going to call any of the is it going to trigger any doors? Or is it just going to be its own, like basically its own overlap volume?
Well, right now it does trigger a door, yeah.
Okay, so we do want it to trigger doors, and then we want it to do the VFX.
Yes.
Okay.
Door, VFX, and angle the body in one direction.
I'm just gonna give you the pressure plate to do the trigger right now. It's not gonna do any of the extra stuff. Once you get that put in, I will then go in and look, see what you have, and then put in the extra stuff.
Amusingly enough, Paul, we ever loaded with no errors.
Yep, no, it's loading up on 416 right now. I need to go through the code and get it to get rid of the warnings on some of it, so otherwise when we try and 418 it may it may just give me errors, and if I can get it updated now, but it may be just fine. I may just try it and see what happens.
Next week, Wednesday, Douglas, and you're not invited. It is not Carrie. It's a streamer friend of Paul's.
It's streaming right now, actually.
Who may be streaming right now. Her name is, it goes under Nyx Saga.
We were actually hosting her when we went to lunch. Frontier from Autohost. Are you streaming right now?
Sure am.
Oh. Maybe because I don't see Vicious Void on, but I didn't see it. I just now see it. That's when I click on it.
Alright. I'm going to save everything I'm working on right now. Experiments have been committed, so next time you do a poll, they'll be there. You know, we never went through and looked. There are tons of image files in Twabor. I wonder if that's what's causing the crazy long load time at the beginning.
For the what?
For Twabor. We never went through and checked to see the image file sizes. There are lots and lots of images in that. I gotta wake up. Someone needs to give me some speed or cocaine or something. What's one of those prescription drugs that makes you all hyped? Is that Adderall? No, that's the thing that brings you down, isn't it?
Hmm?
What's the prescription drug that gets you all like hyped up? That's not Adderall.
Ritalin?
Ritalin? I'm just like, blah. I'm just blah, I'm super blah. Modafinil? That's the thing that gives you lots of energy? Because this coffee has done shit for me lately.
Do you still have clips from you when you were saying real moment over and over again? I wonder if that video is still here. I'm gonna go.
It doesn't look like clips ever get deleted. It looks like just the videos do.
Where would that be? Real moment day.
If you look at your own clips, you'll see every clip you've ever clipped, not just clips of you.
This is like 20 seconds. Who was anyone with us that day, or was it just was Carrie with us?
Was Carrie with us on the drunk dev where I was real momenting? I think she was. I mean, she might have just been like chatting on stream. I just need a night's sleep. I'm always super chipper the night after I get sleep. Or the day after I get sleep. You know, I'm gonna get this off of here just for a second. All right, Scott. You know what will help? I think a big thing that keeps dragging me down is looking at this fucking level in unlit. So what I'm going to do is throw a giant movable light right at the top. Just for development's sake. All right. Hmm. I just need whiskey.
Hmm?
I just need whiskey. Here's what it is.
What's up?
I just need some whiskey.
Oh.
I love how this map looks so from top down. This would be a badass RTS map.
Why do you need whiskey? Because you don't want to do something? It's
Yeah.
really boring?
Yep. I have to...
Yeah, so I know how those days go where you're just like, it's really boring, we can make it go a little quicker if I'm just...
Well, I've only got maybe 10% of the zombies put in. Precog, if I send you this level, will you put all the rest of the fucking zombies in? So I can work on the traps. For real? Man, you'd save me probably 10 hours of work if you did that, Precog. Because it's boring as shit, dude. Don't you have other shit to work on, though? I don't...
I don't want to put the stupid experiment together.
Yeah, you're right where I am.
Sounds terrible.
Precog, can you do the blueprint
come
for
do our
Paul?
jobs for us?
Can you just come over here for like next week? Can you just do that all next week? We'll just what's it called? When they do like a 48-hour game dev. What are those called?
Jam?
Game jam. Yeah, you can just come game jam for a week.
We're gonna have to get ready for God, that week after GDC is gonna be rough.
It is.
And
Yeah, you
it's
can
gonna
come
be,
sleep
like,
over.
It'd be rough even if it wasn't. We didn't have GDC before that, but it's gonna have to recover from GDC. Then we're gonna have to go to another one.
Not a sleepover, Precog. Game jam. Transform on the gate. Douglas, you'd save me a hell of a lot of stress if you actually wanted to. You want me to show you the mind-numbing blandness that I'm trying to put off doing? Is putting these guys behind all of the gates, or behind all of the bars. Right now of this entire map, I have that section done. So if we zoom out, you can see how many hundreds I'm going to have to put in there. I have just that done right there. And I need to line them along pretty much every row that there's bars. Did you follow, Meng? I don't know why I just said it like that. You know, there's vodka and tequila in Lyman and Sheets' fridge. Alright, dude.
I'm gonna bring in my own. I think next Wednesday I'm gonna bring in my own stuff.
I'm just bringing my shit in from here on until April. I'm just gonna drink every day and power through this shit. Alright, Precog. If you're super serial about this.
Yeah, it's access to repo, doesn't he?
Do you have access?
He doesn't have. You just make sure you commit the map.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have him work in the sub-level for just the zombies. Checkpoint 4 NPCs, I don't do anything in that other than put the NPCs in. When I'm done moving props around. I'll see if I've got any Bitcoin and send it over your way, buddy. Do you have access to the repo yet? Did I give that to you? I don't remember. Bitcoin and Adderall. What else do you need? Alright, I'm gonna go set you up repo access. Which I might be able to do it from here. Yep, 418.3, although... Is he gonna have to use source, Paul?
Huh?
Is he gonna have to use source?
No.
Yep.
Probably just have to change it in version 418. Because that's like, as I was saying, I was trying it out at home and it worked just fine.
Okay.
418.
418.3, my
You may
friend.
have to delete out a couple of the plugins. You can just edit the file and you'll see where the plugin is. You can just in the U project, there are a couple of plugins that you probably don't have. So you just edit with no plus. You'll see these things here. You just delete out one of them. That's all you have to do. You may not even have to do that, but
Because doesn't it commit it with the plugins? No.
no, you don't have the plugins.
Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can connect to my SVN repo from here. Fuck, I just feel like I am sleepwalking. But I not have access to that to the whole wide world. Repos. Keep must die. Configuration. That is not what I want. Alright, I'm gonna send that over on Skype, yo. Oh, how long ago did I talk to you? Older than a week. Let's see. All right, Scott. That is saved. All right, so let me see if I can get you. Whoops. You know, this is the most exciting thing in the world. That should allow you to get in. Although he can probably just disable the plugin, because he won't be using that plugin for those levels. He won't be using the plugin on those levels, so he could just disable them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, an engine.
I'm not sure if it will, like, he may say he needs to have them to open it up. If he does, I mean, I'll just show it to him. It's super easy.
It's about a 30 or 40 gig.
It's about 30 gigs, I think. 26?
Repo. Well, I don't know what it is after I did that cleanup.
It's not, I don't know. Because it doesn't take so much to download, it's the extra stuff that it saves, like the backup, it basically doubles it.
Alright, well if he's going to do zombies for me, I can just focus entirely on finishing up the traps. Okay. Aha. It might be useful if I was actually looking at the map in the right direction. It might be up to 100 gig, and then if that's the case, then you'll want to do a Tortoise cleanup with Vacuum Pristine. Let me know if you need any help with that. I don't know to what degree you've used Tortoise before, but that'll knock out like 40 gig of unnecessary files that aren't in use anymore. It's all the sub-level, here, I'll toss it on my screen. So NPC sub-level, this is checkpoint 4. So you'll want Mountain Checkpoint 4 open, Mountain Checkpoint 4 lights if you want to see what it looks like, obviously. But if you can just live in Checkpoint 4 NPCs, there are you watching, Douglas? Because this part is not tricky, it's just important to note. I just realized none of this has anything to do with blueprints. Honestly, you're just dragging shit around the level. That's what's bogging my brain down. Is I don't know why it's just stuck in my head. I super don't want to do it, and I'll do it. Obviously, I have to, but if I had to, it's just... Alright, so on your Details tab, when you click on one of these fuckers, you're going to see under Default, let me make sure it's showing up in XSplit, because my giant head is in the way. Yeah. Do you want a voice call, Douglas, or do you want to just, like, type it? Sure to which? Skype out. Okay. Let's call Douglas up. Are you drunk right now? Is that the only way you can talk to me on Skype?
know, that'd be nice though. Let me kill the.
Alright, you're probably on stream, so no, like, terrible racist things. Because I think it's playing my, Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you great.
Good. Alright, so in the Details tab, Paul's got it super set up. You don't have to worry about anything up the top here in the component section. In the default tab is the only thing you got to worry about. And honestly, the only thing is the idle selection. And that's it. Because we have 3 or 4 different kind of idles. And I will show you. I'll stick this over here. So they all default to this because this is kind of like the holding static mesh for when you can't see them in the distance. And then depending on which idle selection you put in, you'll notice this one says leaning, this one says laying, and I think reaching. Yeah, leaning, laying, reaching, and leaning, laying, reaching, crawling, and I think eating as well. Eating is, I'll give you an example.
When they're like face down and they have their hands in their face, and they're like.
It's gonna, it's so bright green.
Like after they kill you.
Correct, yeah, so like, this dude here is gonna be eating. So that's what eating looks like. And I almost always stick something there for them to be eating. And all of them will kill you. So what they do, it just transitions from the sequence of whatever montage they're playing into the kill sequence. And so it's just eating, laying, reaching, crawling, leaning. And there's an example of all of them at the very beginning of the level where I've already done. So like these dudes. And I alternated them up because it looks funny if they're all doing the same thing, you know, right next to each other.
Right.
So that
variation.
Yeah, so that guy's leaning. This guy's reaching. There's crawling. And I almost always stick the crawling ones with like something to make it look like they're being held down. Otherwise it looks funny if they're just kind of flopping on the ground. But so the example of all of them are right there. And literally all you have to do, depending on which one you want, is just type the name in that idle selection.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Paul sets stuff up like a fucking motherfucker. He makes his easy as shit. And I think it's because he's used to having to deal with artists who don't necessarily know how to do in-engine stuff.
He makes it as simple as possible.
Yeah, and then having to deal with me who doesn't know how to do anything in general, so... These hanging ones I don't need moved. I've got them set up to stop people from skipping over kills. So don't worry about any of the hanging ones. I just need these dudes put behind bars on the ground level. The other thing is, and you don't have to worry about it unless you're feeling froggy, you'll see in that details under the idle selection, easy, normal, hard. Whichever checkbox you're in, it'll appear in all 3 of those difficulties. So if you take it out of easy, then they'll only be in normal
and hard.
Yeah. Which I can easily stagger through. That's way faster for me to change than having to drag these guys around, because the big thing that is where I'm getting brain fucked on is like knowing I've got to go through and set up all the traps, but I'm going to spend 8 to 10 hours nudging these to make sure that the leaning looks right with the bars.
Right.
Because otherwise, like this dude that's reaching, his hand, you know, if it's too far forward, it looks stupid. The one other tiny piece of advice I'll give is keeping in mind this level's super dark, so don't sweat the feet because you're rarely going to see them. Because like these dudes' feet are in the ground right now, but the player is rarely ever going to see them. So if you really want to like perfection it, you can. But you know, it's obviously a pretty dark level. And that's
All right, I see. What is the difference between those reachings? One of those reaching and one of them's. What's the other one they're doing? Leaning. So leaning has a reach to it as well.
Yeah, it's just you'll see with the leaning, he's like leaning forward with it.
Yeah, see that one, the arms kind of have a sway and they clip through some of those bars. But now the one next to him, see, he's just like got his arm out and he's okay. That's reaching, and this is leaning. Okay,
he's leaning, and
he's got that arm just going.
Yep, and that guy's crawling, and then that guy's laying. So the other thing you're going to want to know, I just realized. So if you hit G for the developer view, you see this pink box around him? That's the collision box that when Kate's character pawn overlaps it is when it kills him. So this collision,
that's the kill zone.
Yeah, so if that collision goes any further out, it makes it almost impossible to walk down the aisle.
Alright, again, what's Kate's, what's her collision look like? Is it cylinder?
Is Kate's collision a cylinder?
Capsule, okay. And what's the width about her mesh, like her skirt?
It goes to the end of her arms.
What was that?
Sorry, Paul's asking me something.
Like the specs or not?
Nah. I think we should just stun and knock them back. Her collision capsule basically just goes to where her first person arms go. So if your arms overlap something, it kills you. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else useful to know. Oh, yeah, the other thing that's useful to know. You may have to tilt them in a weird way. You see this happy little fucker right here? How his feet are sticking up in the air?
Yeah.
It's because of he's a leaning one. And
on animation it looks different.
And on animation it looks different. Just because of the way he's leaning. Because I've got him kind of leaning outside of the bars. Whoops, a little too far actually. So, yeah, you may have to just lean him a little bit. That's about it. That's as exciting as that gets. And if you want to test it in the world settings, change your game mode override to just first person game mode. That way they can't kill you. Unless you want to test for them to kill you.
Alright.
It's about as exciting as that gets if you run into problems with the engine. I've got a podcast I'm doing tonight with one of the streamers, but I should be up pretty late working on this shit tonight as well.
Alright.
So as long as long as you just live in checkpoint 4, and I don't remember, have you used Unreal a bunch before?
Yeah.
So just, you know, as long as that dude's highlighted, you're not gonna fuck with anything. I'll stay completely out of that checkpoint. Or out of that sub-level.
So I'll be in checkpoint 4, or I need to stay out of checkpoint 4?
No. All of those zombies are gonna live in, so the sub-level, I'm sorry, I realized I say things confusing. So in your sub-levels, I've organized them by number based off of where I wanted them to be in the list. But 03 NPC levels, checkpoint 04 NPCs.
Okay.
If you're in that sub-level, you're not going to fuck with anything else we're doing. because there's nothing in there other than these NPCs.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's just like, all of a sudden I feel like invigorated. Like just thinking about dragging all those things around was bringing me down today.
Oh man, yeah, don't you worry, but that's easy. It's just a bunch of easy, boring stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I was going to tell you is I did find you may want to, in your editor preferences, do a search for camera, and then preview selected cameras for look and feel. Get rid of that checkbox. Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is every time you click on one of these things, it's going to show this camera in the bottom corner. And it lags it out terribly every time you're moving them around because it's rendering the scene twice. So, I mean, unless it's really, if you really want to see from that camera point, you do you.
Yeah.
But just editor preferences, preview camera. You get rid of that little bastard. I'm kind of surprised that's on by default, but, you know, whatever. I don't make billions of dollars working at Unreal. Cool. All right. Well, you got any questions for me?
Nope. As soon as this is done downloading, I'll get on that.
Julio, you sound as tired as I feel.
Yeah, but you know, you operate like that. Eventually, it's LA. This is kind of how everyone is. That's why coffee's so popular.
Yeah, I was just telling Paul I can't. Coffee doesn't seem to be helping me at all anymore. So I'm now drinking coffee and Coke and trying to get a sugar high.
Oh, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, not cocaine.
Drinking coffee and Coke.
Yeah, little nose candy right in the beginning of my day.
You're like, damn it, Paul, it's not working. I need whiskey.
Oh shit! All right, I'm gonna cut you loose, and try and get all the traps done, so that way I can test this thing out sooner than later.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
See ya. Good glass coming through with the hookup. Oh, you know what we should do, Paul, is bring like a bunch of whiskey just for him.
Bring a bunch of whiskey.
Buy a bunch of whiskey.
There you go.
There it
Sounds
is.
like a much better idea.
What the hell is this? Did you fix that wrench thing and commit it already?
Yep.
Cool.
I haven't tested it, but
I can test it right now.
I didn't notify in there for, and I forgot to put it in action.
Good Glass says not a bunch, just one. Just one whiskey. One big whiskey. Alright, what I probably should do, instead of being a great idiot, I should probably update that.
Yeah, never mind. I probably messed it up.
Nope. Unfortunately, the transfer rate is a magical mystery that it doesn't seem to be dependent on anybody's up or download speed, because you're connecting to a synchronous fiber optic here, which is 800 meg up and down, but there is sadly no way to make it go faster. Like sometimes at home I'll get 56K download speed, and then 2 seconds later it'll be downloading at 30 meg. So, hooray for ISPs.
Alright, it probably won't work then. I'm gonna commit anyway here.
The zombie?
The break lock.
Oh, I got you. Your switch just got done.
Sweet.
Alright, so what I need then, if he's going to take care of zombies.
Alright, the new one is in.
Yeah, we have 800 meg synchronous just for the two of us. Paul and I need to stream as much as we can all day, every day. It made more sense when there were 25 of us here, but amusingly enough, it wouldn't save even $1 if I reduced the speed, because we had negotiated the speed of the internet very early on. Stream that mining pool.
God damn
All right, gotta wrap my head around this. I would actually drink right now if I didn't have to go get Emma in 45 minutes. Sweetheart, I know you're only 10, but can you drive me home? Again, Dad? Holy shit, if we've got like Good Glass helping us for the next couple of weeks during Crunch, we could get 30% more done. Math. You see how quick I was at that right there? I guess it'd be like 33% more done if we were all doing exactly the same amount. All right, so I need that switch opens that and lets them out. So I need, ideally, I want 3 bodies to stop people from getting to the next section, I think. Or do I just want 3 bodies in general? Though it can be switches and... guess the only way to do is to find out how it do. All right. Doors. Let's grab another one. Oh, where's my world settings? God damn it. That's exactly not what I wanted. All right. Holy shit, Scott, did you really just do that? Okay. Hey Paul, in first-person game mode, what do I want my default pawn class to be? I changed it to spectator and I forgot what it was originally.
What's up?
In first-person game mode override, what do I want the default pawn class to be? I changed it to spectator and forgot what the original one was.
Kate character? The first person one doesn't matter. It's whatever you want it to be. Kate character is normally what it is.
There we go. Missed something. Come here, fatty. That one does open. That should have opened it. It did. Now what happens if I go in here? Switched. And that will work just fine. Just for giggles, let's see what happens. Oh shit, I can't. So that's locked. I wonder if I can get over there. Congratulations, Scott. You played yourself. Oop, but I can't get there. Don't fall off there. That guy's gonna so kill me, I just know it. Got a question for you, Paul. Is this something, so these are the switch BPs, and for whatever reason it doesn't carry the collision over with the mesh when I put it in there? Is that something I just need to set on each BP?
Just click on it. What is the collision set to?
Custom?
What, like, bring up the drop down. What type is it?
What type? Physics pickup, it says?
Yeah, it's probably, you probably want it not that, I think.
It's just a world static, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just have to do with, since you're interacting with it.
I think the other switches we weren't wanting to have you running to, so I think that was what it was set to.
That didn't even help. Alright, Precog, I think you're the only one watching the stream right now, so I'm going to end it. And just keep working on traps. Obviously, I've got Skype up, so if you need me for anything, yo. But I bet it's going to be at least a couple hours till that repo downloads. So, just ping me if you need anything. So, bye-bye.